This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today, author of the #1 best-selling book, Debt-Free Degree, and host of the ever-popular YouTube and podcast show called The Table, which a new episode dropped today. So what y'all talk about? I hadn't listened to today's yet. I hadn't had a chance. Who's on?
Our good friends, Dave, Mignon and Big Shakes.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, those two
world-class entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. And they came on and just really dove deep into how they started in the entrepreneurship world, how they got over some obstacles, and how they are
Big Shake has a barbecue operation, both online and in multiple restaurants, and Mignon has a cupcake operation, tens of millions of dollars, both of them doing revenue.
Absolutely.
They're both world-class entrepreneurs, and they both started from nothing.
Nothing. I mean, Mignon started with $5 and a dream. Big Shake started in New York with absolutely nothing and now has 3 or 4 shops, multi-millionaires, both of them. And it was just a great show, Dave.
Yeah.
It was a great show.
Well, they're great friends.
Yes.
Both of ours.
Yes.
And just love them both. I met Big Shake through you. You met Mignon through me.
Yeah, yep.
But they're both just... They're just inspiring.
Listen, Dave.
I mean, people that want to start something and hustle and grind, turn over a rock and step on it, man, they get it done.
They're getting it done. And
they're both kind of cool.
Real cool. I mean, now Big Shakes, he has that old man swag. You know, he's just real cool.
Yeah, he's got more swagger. Mignon, she's just her.
She is.
He's got the strut down still.
She really is.
Yeah,
Dave.
I like it. It's good, man. I can't wait to listen to it.
You'll love it, Dave.
It's called The Table.
Yes.
With Anthony O'Neill, and it's his weekly podcast coming out, and it's been on the YouTube for quite a while, and has quite a few YouTube listeners and viewers, rather, and so you can tune in and learn from 2 world-class entrepreneurs this week. Yeah. Anthony, he gets a little bit of everybody on there. Matthew McConaughey was on there the other day, and you had a table or a panel of folks for Black History Month on there, and so there's always something happening at the table. There's always a conversation, and be sure you jump in and join it and check it out.
And next week, Dave, we have some of our influencers. You brought in, as a team we brought in some young influencers a couple of months ago, and so I interviewed about half of them.
Oh, yeah.
And brought them in on the show, so that's going to be a phenomenal show.
Good.
I'm excited.
Well, lots of good conversations.
Yes.
Phone number here if you want to talk about your life and your money is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Michelle is with us in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Hello. I have a question for you guys, and I wondered what you would think. My husband and I have signed papers through a real estate agent to buy a double apartment house that has 2 apartments in it from his brother. And in between the time of signing here, and we have not made settlement yet, but the gutter has fallen on an electric line. We were wondering whose duty that is to take care of it.
You want to say that? I didn't understand. Whose duty to take care of what?
To take care of the gutter that has fallen on the electric line.
A gutter fell on the electric line. Well, typically the seller would present a home that is operable to the buyer, unless you have specific language in the. If it's a fixer-upper of some kind, you might have as is, where is in the contract. In that case, you just bought whatever it is, and you got the gutter. Okay, but most of the time when you're buying does it say as is, where is in the contract?
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
It is a fixer-upper, although we haven't made settlement, so that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. Settlement would be based on you closing on the deal that you made. If the deal you made on a fixer-upper is we're going to fix all the repairs, well, a gutter hanging off ain't that big a deal to start with. But I kind of have the feeling that you're getting cold feet.
I half and half.
Where's
So we're
the
not
cold
sure.
feet coming from, Michelle?
What was that?
Where's the cold feet coming from? The other half of it that you say it's half and half.
There's some family that thinks that we need to pay more, and even though it's not worth that much.
Who's the family? Are they the seller?
The father-in-law.
Well, it's none of his business unless it's his property. Is it his property?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then that's called nunya.
Yeah.
Nunya business.
And it's also very important, Michelle, for you need to know what's in your contract. I'm a little disappointed that you don't know exactly what's inside the contract. So the very first thing is you need to go back and read through, or have an attorney read through everything so you know exactly what you're signing for.
Where'd you get this contract, this form?
The real estate agent we are with.
Oh, there's an agent involved.
Yes.
Did you ask your agent about the gutter?
No.
Okay, that'd be a good idea.
Now, is it your agent or is it the seller's agent, Michelle?
Both.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. They can tell you what you've agreed to.
Right.
You probably are using a standard form realtor contract. That's what's called a boilerplate, meaning it's a standard form. And it may even have in it, as is where is if you're buying a fixer-upper, they may have added that as far as repairs go so that the seller didn't get obligated to do this. If I were selling that property, I would have had that specific language in there so that whatever condition the property is in as of the closing date, it's on you. If I'm supposed to present you with a retail deal, meaning everything's spick and span and perfect, then it would say that, and you would have gotten a home inspector ahead of time if you did this properly, and you would have known exactly what you were getting into. But I think there's family drama here, and a gutter is exposing that. Because let me tell you what it takes to fix a gutter, $200. So it's a non-issue. Okay, you don't not do a real estate deal or do a real estate deal over a gutter. That's just not... there's a lot of other crap going on here, and it may be that you don't need to do the deal because of the family drama.
Yeah.
And just look at brother and go, you know what, everybody's pissed off, so let's just not do this. You sell it to somebody else. And y'all go get something else. But the gutter doesn't need to be the reason.
No.
And so, once you get to settlement, you own the house. It's over then. So folks, here's the deal. Everybody says, don't do business with family. Don't hire family. You know what? That's wrong. You can do business with family, and you can hire family. I got family that works here.
What's the secret?
The secret is you have to be as clear or more clear in all of the dealings and expectations and paperwork than you would with someone that you never met before.
Okay.
Because it takes extra layers of communication to cut through family BS.
Gotcha.
You have to be uber, super, crazy, blunt, two before in the face clear with family, where with normal humans, you could just look at them and say something and they could hear it. But with family, they get all caught up in assumptions.
They do.
Right?
Yeah.
And so don't assume nothing. Write it down like it's a freaking business transaction, because it is. And then you know exactly what you're getting into. And you would never care about the father-in-law of the seller. Were you buying someone else's property? There you go. That's how business works. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you save a lot. Always use the magic word Ramsey as your promo code.
Today's question comes from Zach in Iowa. My wife and I had a baby in August, and now that we are debt-free, we want to start investing in her future. Since we don't know her future plans and given the talk around the financial changes in academia, would it be better to invest in a standard mutual fund instead of a 529? Well, first, Zach, I want to say congrats to your newborn. That's an amazing thing. But for me, I'm going to say stick to a 529 because I would say more than likely your child is going to want to go to college and you all are going to push for further education. And so I would stick to a 529 and just make some adjustments there once she graduates from high school if she decides not to go to college.
Completely agree. The landscape may shift.
Yeah.
It will shift.
It will.
It's shifting already, and it's going to shift in the next number of years. But starting a 529, and when you get up to $10,000, you might pause a second and look around, say, now do I want to keep going?
Right.
If you get up to $50,000, you may want to pause and look around.
Yeah.
Long before you get to $100,000.
Right.
But you don't have to. You're not making a $100,000 decision today.
Right.
You can just start one, and then as it gets bigger, you keep looking around and going, well, this is different now, and this is different. And what has happened is the argument, and you talk about this in A Debt-Free Degree,
yeah,
in the best-selling book of yours, the argument against the cost, the extreme, exorbitant cost of a 4-year degree is even stronger and was accelerated by COVID because you can't even freaking go on campus.
Right, right.
And so it's basically you're getting an online degree. Mm-hmm. And everybody's going, well, I sure as crud ain't paying that for an online degree.
Right.
And I was questioning whether I was going to do it with a college experience.
Right.
But now when there's no college experience and now it's all online, I'm sure I could just go on Google and get that, And so people are... that is forcing, COVID accelerated a cultural shift in us observing what's happening with higher education. So higher ed's, they're in a mess.
Yes, they are.
And if the Biden administration goes through on some of its promises and forgives student loans, and yet has the hypocrisy to not stop the student loans.
Yes.
See, if you're going to forgive them because they're evil, you shouldn't keep making them.
Absolutely agree, Dave.
Because they're evil.
Yep.
You cannot, in good it's intellectually dishonest to forgive student loans and continue to make them.
Right.
That's straight up pandering, straight up politicians handing out money.
Yeah.
That's all that is. That's not a philosophical admission that the student loan crisis is a screw job on the American public.
Yeah.
And if you're going to admit that, then you need to stop making them, which they're not going to do, by the way.
They're not going to do that, Dave. And I know we're totally against debt, but at least maybe put a cap on it. Don't make it unlimited for these young people.
It's just out of control. So, but that's what's driven the cost up. Is this unlimited supply of stupid money.
Yes.
There's always somebody who will take the money.
Yep.
And so, government money, which, by the way, you don't even have to pay back if it's forgiven. So, I mean, this whole thing is getting super absurd. So, the Zach's question is really good.
It's really good.
Because that pressure was all there, and then add COVID to it, and you go, well, we're not even on campus.
Yeah.
I'm sure not paying $50,000 a year for this.
Right.
And people are starting to wake up and go, hey, I want a return on investment. I want to get something I'm real proud of for what I paid for. So online learning or reasonable state schools or community colleges or some of the stuff we've been suggesting to avoid student loan debt for years are suddenly much more popular, but that's going to change what the offerings are at higher ed.
Yeah, it really will.
Over time. So the answer to your question is, Zach, if you said, I'm going to put in $200,000 in my kid's college fund this morning, I would say, yeah, I agree with you. Don't do that because the landscape's changing. I might not do that all at once. But if you're going to start gradually, you're not going to screw up having $10,000 in a 529. So let's get started, but then continue to monitor the shift in the education culture and what's expected.
So now, Dave, let me ask you this question. You have several mutual funds. I have not several. I have a couple mutual funds outside of my Roth IRA. Now, let's say if he maxes out his 529, he's already investing in all this other type of stuff. Would you suggest he opens up another mutual fund if he just wants to save more to give more to his kids in the future?
He could just have that in his name, though.
Okay.
And then that could be used for anything.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, you can just go, I'm going to buy a piece of real estate with it. I'm not giving it to the kid.
I got you.
So you can just build wealth, and that always gives you options for doing anything you want to do.
Got you.
A pile of money in your name. I would not necessarily pile a bunch of money in the kid's name.
Okay.
You can, if you want to. It saves some taxes, but you lose a lot of control.
Yep.
Because, see, that mutual fund, if you put it in the kid's name, it's called a uniform, well, I can't call it out.
Yeah.
My brain went blank. But anyway, Uniform Transfer to Minors Act. The booth helped me out. Thanks, guys. My brain's locked up. But Uniform Transfer to Minors Act. And all that means is if you open a bank account with your bank for your child to have put their milk money in or their birthday money in, because little Junior has a little savings account at the bank.
Right.
That's under the Uniform Transfer to Minors Act.
Okay.
Because you can't technically open an account unless you're 21 anywhere. You can't, because you can't do business. You're not an adult.
Right.
So the parent opens the account in the child's name, typically, and the parent is named the custodian.
Right.
And so, but then that mutual fund, if we do that, is taxed at that kid's rate. So as it makes money, it has lower taxes than if it was in my name.
Got you. I got you.
Because I'm going to get my butt taxed off. You know that.
Right.
And so it saves you some, but again, it's their money.
Right.
When they turn 21, if they're doing cocaine, they can go get the money.
Yeah. So there's
you lose a lot of control over it until they're 21.
Gotcha.
And so for what little tax savings there is, I would just open it in your name and just book on. But this higher ed discussion, and we've had it with Dr. John Deloney, who's got a PhD in higher ed, and he comes out of the university world, as served in leadership in multiple different universities. But we're all observing that this is a when the dust settles on this after COVID, on what colleges charge and how many people attend them physically, it's going to have changed. It's going to have accelerated the change that the student loan crisis started.
Yes.
And I don't know to what extent, but we're going to see something shift.
Absolutely.
To where, my University of Tennessee at Knoxville with 30,000 students, or got a guy sitting out here with a Michigan hat on, the University of Michigan, or the University of whatever, Kentucky or Auburn or Alabama or California or whatever, it's going to look different.
Yeah.
And those are state schools.
Yeah.
Now, if you fast forward and you go over into a super expensive private school, they're going to feel it even more, because people are going to go, look, the student loan thing is so bad that the Democrats forgave it, so I'm not signing up.
Right. Right.
Because not many people are so dishonest as to sign up knowing they're going to get it forgiven.
Right.
Like, I'm going to go get all I can get so the government pays for it. I'm going to get on welfare because I don't really want to work. Most people aren't that lacking in honor.
They're not.
So that it's going to affect it. If they do this forgiveness, even if they don't stop making them, it's still going to affect the perception in the culture. It has changed. It's changed permanently. And you guys check out Anthony's book, Debt Free Degree, and check out the Borrowed Future podcast on the Ramsey Network, because it lays out in detail how crooked and how, filthy the student loan industry is.
Especially
and the government intent behind it.
Yes.
It is a colossal mess. It is an epic failure.
Man.
And you need to check it out. And if you want to go to school, and you should go to school, by the way, education is important. We're not a group that says you don't need to go to college. It's not worth anything. Oh, it's worth it. It's better to be smart than dumb. It really is. So you should go, but you need to be smart about your education. It's oxymoronic to not be. So, and Debt Free Degree will help you learn how to do that. It's like I said, it's a #1 bestseller. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. You are listening to The Ramsey Show. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. I am Dave Ramsey. Thank you for joining us, America. Patrick is with us in Grand Junction, Colorado. Hey, Patrick, how are you?
Hey, Dave. Hey, Anthony. Thank you so very much for taking my call.
Our pleasure. How can we help?
Well, my wife and I read the Total Money Makeover just 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And yeah, I am 41 years old, and we paid off our debt on Friday, just 3 days ago.
Wow.
Congrats.
And, well, now, Dave, I got to tell you, someone gave me one of your books when I was like 22 years old. I'm not even kidding you. And from that time till this time, I've been on the Dave Ramsey envelope system. I have been real serious about not being in debt. I bought my wife's wedding ring for cash. I paid for the wedding in cash. My wife and I have really been blessed because of a book we read of yours, I mean, forever ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the Total Money Makeover the other day was just a tune-up then.
It was, because I haven't been listening to the podcast. I haven't read any more of your books. And my wife and I just looked at where we were, and we're like, you know what, we need to get on track. So we only had $12,000 in debt. We had one automobile. We paid it off. I bought the Total Money Makeover. It was the last purchase I made with my credit card. The book came in the mail, and there you are on the cover cutting up credit cards. So I felt like a dum-dum for that purchase.
It's blasphemy.
Yeah. But here's where we're at. We're on baby step 3. And but we have been investing a lot of money because we haven't been on the plan up until a couple weeks ago. So
Got it.
My question is, do I pull some of that out for my 6 months of fully funded emergency fund, or
How
can I
much
just
do you
leave
have
that
in
alone?
non-retirement investing?
We have $435,000.
Yes. Take enough out today and call it your emergency fund and put it in a money market.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
let me explain that to you because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because you're going to hear me cry in a minute.
I know, but
right
it's
here
not
in
that
front of
much
you guys.
money. It's not that much money.
I think
How
maybe
much, what's your
50,000?
emergency? What is your 3 to 6 months of emergencies? How much should this fund be?
So we were thinking 6 months should be $36,000.
Okay,
That's
so
not
move
bad.
30 grand. That's enough.
Yeah.
You'll be fine because you got 400 other than that laying over there.
Right.
Okay, so it's not that much money.
Yeah.
Now, here's the point.
Okay.
That 30,000 has a new mission now. Its old mission was to grow as an investment. Your emergency fund is not an investment. If you can swallow that, it'll make this easier.
Yeah.
It's not an investment. It's insurance. Now, if you think about insurance versus investments, insurance costs you money to protect the things that make you money. Your house going up, right? You don't want it to burn. So we buy an insurance policy to protect it. So insurance is defense, investments is offense. So we're moving 30,000 over into defense to protect, so we don't have to cash out some of that 400 at exactly the wrong time. Because let me tell you what will happen if you think, I'm going to use the 400 if something happens.
Right.
That's what most people think.
Yeah.
What happens is you'll go, I still can't cash out the 400, even though I need $7,000 to do ... emergency. I just can't do it, and you'll pop it onto a credit card.
Yep. Yeah.
And so the emergency fund is the completed proper step in a good financial plan. But Anthony, it's very important that we change it emotionally from offense to defense.
Absolutely, Dave. Defense is very, very important. I love how you called it out that, saying, you know what? He's going to see that $400,000 over there. He's like, I don't want to touch that. I'm going to go take out a loan. I'm going to go put it on the credit card. And then next thing you know, he's right back into what took him about 20 years to pay off everything.
Yeah.
And so defense sets you up for effective offense. Okay. And so I love how Dave broke that down. But $30,000 out of $400,000 is really not, it's not a lot of money.
Yeah. Just ask Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Defense sets you up for an effective offense.
Did. That was a good one, Dave.
No question.
I was going for the young man, but man, you just hit us hard with that.
Well, I mean, it's just, I'm not a fan of either team. I'm not a hater on either team. It's just an observation of the game. But yeah,
true.
It does. It sets you up to win, and defense wins games.
And defense shut it down.
We've heard that, and that's not only true in football; it's true in finance. And so, because here's what can happen: you can be smart.
Yeah.
And then have a moment, and this is not the case with Patrick, okay?
Yeah.
But just as another example, like I've seen people who build up, and they got $400,000 laying there,
right?
And they've been smart all those years because Patrick's been very smart,
right?
And then suddenly something comes along that's shiny, this looks like a cool investment that their friend wants to get them into, and you could put $200,000 over here, and all of this in one stroke of the pen, you get stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've seen people just suddenly, boom, they just lose it.
Yeah.
And so that's the you've been really good at offense, but you didn't have a good defense to keep you from stepping into stupid tax.
Yeah.
And I've done it. I've never done it on the stage. The time I went broke, I did it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, since then, I've even done stupid things that cost me money. But I have been smart enough after I went broke to do them small enough to where they weren't game ending.
And there's one other thing too I would suggest, Dave, and tell me if I'm wrong here. That other $360,000 that he's going to have there sitting there, give that a purpose. Why is it sitting there?
It needs to go ahead and do baby steps 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
So if you've got a home mortgage,
pay off your home.
I'm going to start moving towards that with that other balance. That's going to even be harder.
Yeah.
And another discussion, but we'll get through baby step 3 first.
Right.
Zachary is with us. Zachary's in Lexington, Kentucky. Hi, Zachary. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. Can you guys hear me?
We can. How can we help?
Good deal. Wanted to get your guys' opinion on whether my wife and I are financially healthy enough to try and start a business.
Okay.
We are 23 and 25. Our only debt is we just built a house for $350,000. We currently owe $270 on it.
Okay.
No student debt, no car debt. And we got about $25,000 in liquid cash built up.
You guys are on fire.
Yeah.
What's your household income?
We're trying to be. Our household income last year was $170.
What kind of business are you wanting to start, and what's it going to cost?
Wanting to start a business that is a solution for treating household hot tubs and pools. I developed the product based on my own personal sufferings in that, and we've got to develop prototype, and the next step would be.
Is this a chemical product or a robotic cleaner?
Chemical product. Product.
Okay.
So you can do it all by yourself to start off, right?
Yeah, me, and one of my friends he's a stay-at-home dad currently. He's also debt-free outside of a mortgage.
Okay.
So it's kind of something that we'd be taking on together.
No.
My biggest drawback is I've got a very good job, and I've got about a guaranteed. I work in sales. I do logistics for a living.
Yeah. So what do you want to spend to start the business?
Very minimal, only $1,000.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And you don't need him.
And you don't need to leave your job.
You don't need him, and you don't need to leave the job. Just start it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And start selling it. And after you sell $100,000 worth, then you can quit your job. And he can work for you.
There you go.
But you don't need a partner. The only ship won't sail is a partnership.
I got you. I mean, it's a best friend kind of deal, Dave.
It won't be.
Bringing other people up with me.
Yeah, well, that's okay. He can work for you, and you can pay him out of the profits. That'll bring him up.
That definitely.
Yeah.
And Zach, hear me clearly, man. You're a young man, and I get it. We want to be entrepreneurs. Do not leave your job. Keep working it until this can take care of your actual salary you have coming in.
Or close.
Yes. But don't quit, bro. Don't quit.
Start it out of your garage. I talked to a young man the other day, started a thing in his garage 7 years ago, did $25 million this year.
Good gracious.
Yeah.
Not bad. Start it out of your garage, and when it gets up close to your current salary, then you can quit and walk away. And you need to have your friend work for you. He doesn't need to be your partner. He said, no, you don't need a partner. You have the stuff. You've got the money. You got everything here. If you feel like you're going to always be stuck paying off your debt, well, you don't have to be. You think you're never going to have any extra money to save? Think you're always going to be like a rat in a wheel? Well, you don't have to be. It doesn't have to be this way. It's time for a new way of thinking. It's time to reset. Time to take control of your money instead of it controlling you. You can. Millions of people have, and we show people how every day. And it won't take as long as you think it will. With Ramsey Plus, we'll kick you off with 90 days of guided help so you can put more of your money back in your bank account. You'll learn practical ways to get small, consistent wins that add up to big results and better habits. And that means you'll get where you want to be faster, debt-free, and spending your money without worry. This year, you can make more progress on your debt and your saving than you ever have. Get Ramsey Plus and start living the life you want faster. Ramsey Plus. You can do a free trial by texting FREE. You text TRIAL to 33789. You can get a free trial to Ramsey Plus. That includes Financial Peace University, includes every dollar plus. It includes the premium version, everything. Text the word trial to 33789. Brian is with us in Greenville, South Carolina. Hey, Brian, how can we help?
Hi, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So my question today actually is advice on what to do with our tax return. We've got about $6,000 planning on coming in from that, and we're on baby step 2, so we're choosing debt to pay off. But at the same time, we just bought a house at the beginning of this year, and it's an older house, 1957, and the inspector said that the AC unit actually is on its last life, and that it would probably be going out soon. And we've made it thus far in the winter, but from the outside it looks pretty bad, and so I'm worried that it'll go out if we spend this tax return. We'll end up having to come up with money to replace that.
So let's see. You're in Greenville, South Carolina, and it is February.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
you don't need an AC.
Yeah. Not to buy July.
Well, it's.
I know. I'm poking fun at you.
Right.
So if it goes out in July, you go to Walmart and buy a $10 box fan.
Okay.
How much debt have you got left?
Well, not including the house, it's about $30,000.
Okay. And what's your household income, sir?
Only about 26 to 30.
For you and your wife, combined income?
My wife is a stay-at-home mom that's kind of getting paid under the table to babysit.
Okay. And what do you? And so you're working 40 hours.
Yes.
How old are you?
26.
What do you do?
Forklift driver for a local warehouse.
Okay. All right. So what are you going to be doing when you're 30 that makes twice what you make now?
That's a good question. I had surgery a couple years ago, and it's severely limiting my options as to what I can do. So I'm still actually in the process of trying to figure out what I can do.
So it affected you physically, but not mentally?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're going to do something that's called white collar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? Using your brain?
Yes.
Any education, Brian?
3 years of IT, but no graduate.
Okay. All right.
So why are you not working in IT?
Because in college I took the same math class about 3 times and wasn't able to pass it with a high enough degree to continue in the core class, in the degree classes.
Yeah, but what did you learn? Did you learn programming?
A little bit of programming and networking.
Okay. So even if you couldn't pass the math class, can you work on a computer?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It pays more than driving a forklift.
Most likely.
Yeah. Like definitely.
Brian, let me ask you this question, man. I'm listening to you, and I don't hear motivation. I don't hear aspiration. I don't hear like, yo, I really want to do more. Like why are you living today? Like where do you see yourself? What do you want in the next 10, 15 years?
Well, to be honest, all the things I wanted to do, I can't. I wanted to join the military. I wanted to be in the police force or something like that that's more physical. And so I didn't really have a backup plan when I heard that I needed to be off my feet. And IT I was never excited about because that's one of my biggest weaknesses is being a gamer. And so I didn't feel like it would be a good idea to be in front of a computer all day, you know, with the chances of getting into different gaming stuff or whatever. Plus, cool. I like to be more hands-on, so I didn't want to really be in an office if I could help it.
Gotcha. So
you're going to be in an office.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be in the military and you're going to get off this forklift.
Yeah.
And you're going to be a software engineer, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, if you love gaming, why don't we take all those skills and that love and let's use it for something? The reason we're going into this is it solves your air conditioner problem.
Yes.
Because you don't have an air conditioner problem, you have an income problem.
Yep.
Right.
That's why we went there.
Okay.
So we're going to get the cattle prod and zap you off that forklift. Ready? Did you feel it? So yep. I want you by this time, let's see, by the 1st of March, I want you to have talked to 3 people in the technical world about you doing some side help for them while you keep your day job.
Yes.
I want you to stick your toe in the water and reset your dream. You're too young to have your only dream destroyed and you do nothing the rest of your life. You have too much potential. There's too much for you to do in this world.
Yeah.
God was not surprised that you got hurt, and he has a plan for you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's no shame in driving a forklift. But I don't think you're there because it's your passion to drive a forklift. I think you're there because you're hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was the easiest answer.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a default.
I loved operating equipment.
It was default. It was whatever program came up when you turned it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, Brian. Dave told you something that's key, and I do not want you to miss it. And before you hang up, I want you to stay on the line because Kelly is going to give you one of our friends, Ken Coleman's book, The Proximity Principle. He told you to talk to 3 people in the tech world and work for them on the side. What's key is that not only will you get income on the side, but you're going to build relationships.
What if you could make $200,000 a year working for a company that creates games?
That's it. And that starts with the relationships.
As a gamer.
Well,
I think that would be better than any plan you had.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Even the other plan, that was your glory plan.
Yeah.
I mean, because you love gaming and your brain works that way. I know that because you gravitated towards tech.
Yeah.
None of this was an accident.
Right. Yeah.
So, hey, man, I want good things for you, okay? So what I'm going to tell you to do is I'm going to tell you to take that $6,000 and pay it on your debt, and I want you to get an extra job in the tech world and pay off your debt even faster. And while you're working that extra job, if your air conditioner goes out this summer, you can stop your debt snowball for a little bit, work 100 hours a week and at the extra tech job, and then buy you an air conditioner.
Yeah.
But right now, I want you working the debt snowball. But, dude, this is not about your debt snowball. I think we got a hold of it. It's about your career track. And hold on, Kelly's going to pick up. We're going to give you a copy of Ken Coleman's book. Go to kencoleman.com, his website. Download all of his stuff. It's all free. And we gave you the only thing he charges for, which is the book. And he will walk you through how to get this going, man.
Yeah.
And but it's exactly what you need to do. You need to start poking around the tech world and get off that forklift because that's not going to take you where you want to go. It's not because it wasn't your goal. I mean, I got a friend that owns a forklift company. If you want to own a forklift company, you can do it.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do. But I don't think that was your plan.
Nah, you can hear it all in his voice, Dave. And that's one thing. Well, time is up. But
you called him out.
I did.
You called him out.
I didn't call him out, Dave.
You just heard the bus, boom, boom, went right over, threw him under the bus. For his own good, though. That was a love bus.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right. You loved it. Yeah. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225 as we talk about your life, then we talk about your money. And we talk about your life, and we talk about your money, and it's all here. Starting off this hour is going to be Cedar Falls, Iowa. Elise is with us. Hi, Elise. How are you?
Good. How are you all?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
So I just want to say thank you for everything that you and AO do. Especially, I am loving that Black Panel conversations on his YouTube channel. My question today is not so much financial, but just personal. So I am just wanting to know, like, the boundaries and guidelines of when it's appropriate to talk to a friend about a big life decision, and the fine line of wanting to help them, but may not be close enough to the person to have the right to say anything on the subject. So my friend is in a relationship with a very nice man, but she is a believer and he is not. And she is adamant that she doesn't want to marry any guy who is a non-believer. And during this process, their relationship, he's been very close to becoming a believer, but they have had discussions of potentially becoming engaged, maybe in like the next month or two. And my big concern is that she's just going to get lost, and it's going to be really difficult for their marriage. And he knows that she won't marry him unless he's a believer. And so I'm just worried that the pressure of engagement is going to make him decide a decision that isn't actually what he decides, and he's actually going to want to become a believer, not because of the faith, or his relationship with Christ, but more so to be with the girl. And I just don't know if I am the right person to have that conversation. I'm close with her, and I've kind of been in a similar situation.
What if the shoes were reversed?
Yeah.
And she came to you. Could you hear her?
I think so. But
is she close enough to you?
Yeah.
To tell you some kind of have a hard conversation with you, and you hear it?
Yeah.
Well, then you're close enough to her.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Say it with love, say it one time, and move on.
Yeah, amen.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
this is not your crusade.
Right.
This is a concern.
Yeah. Don't lose any sleep over it. Pray about it. Talk to her. If she receives it, great. If she doesn't, you did your part as a friend. But do not allow this and her decision for her life to impact you and how you're moving forward. And also on the flip side, and I could be wrong here, so correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, this could potentially hurt the relationship depending on how she receives it. And you have to be okay with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the risk.
Yeah.
Real friends will risk pissing somebody off.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you're not a real friend.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, we're not setting out to make them mad. We're not setting out to hurt them.
Yeah.
But you know that that's a risk. So if I were in your shoes, what I would do is I wouldn't make statements. I would ask questions.
That's so good, Dave.
Write down 5 questions. And it might say, okay, you told me long before you met so-and-so that you did not want to marry someone who did not share your faith in Christ. Is that still true?
Mm-hmm.
That's a question, okay? Are you going to, now that he's in the picture, it appears you guys are getting really serious, and the reason I'm talking to you about this is I'm worried for you, and I want you to have a good life because I love you. You're my friend. And so if he does not share your faith, are you going to go forward and marry him anyway? That's the second question you might ask. Third question is, how do you think that's going to work out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and a part of that,
these are questions.
Yeah.
These
And a
are
part
questions.
of that, and a part of that third question is, to even go deeper, that question is, if y'all do get married, how's that going to work out for your family? How are you going to teach your kids, if y'all have two doctrines that you don't believe on?
Mm-hmm.
And then ask her a soft one. Ask her one that doesn't really come off so hard. Like, hey, so how is the relationship going? That may be something to start off with.
And the only other one I would throw in is, are you concerned? This is passive aggressive, but it's still a question. Are you concerned he might pretend to convert to a person of faith in order to put a ring on your finger?
Yeah.
And if she says yes to that, I might then say, how can you guard against that?
But you know what, Dave?
The answer to that question is time.
Yeah.
Slow down.
And us young men, we are known for saying yes to something or doing something that we already know we really don't want to do, just to get the hand in marriage. And so that's a real good question, Dave.
Yeah. And just slow down.
Yeah.
And listen, if she's just all bubbly and over the top and is not listening and shuts you down on a series of 5, 6 questions that sound like that, then you've done your job.
Right.
Because you really cannot, it is not illegal to be stupid. If it was, I'd have been in jail a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, you're going to watch, part of being a grown-up is you're going to watch people that you love in your family and outside your family, people that you love do things that are harmful to themselves, and you really can't do squat about it. It's just hard.
Yeah.
It's hard watching your friends drive their car right towards the wall.
It is.
It's hard watching your friends hit the wall.
It is.
Or family members, and you go, there's a wall! I know, but it's fun!
Yeah, and I think the part for me, Dave, is it's hard up front, but after I've said my piece, it's not hard.
You got to walk then. You got to be, you cannot be, it's not a crusade. It's 5 questions.
Yep. Keep it
and it's short, and it's very clear. Don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
And don't turn it into a preaching session.
That's good.
You're not there to preach.
Yeah.
You're there to ask questions.
Yeah.
And that she should be asking herself.
Yeah.
And you're just clarifying, and you're saying, okay, it sounds to me like you're going to go forward with this, and I'll just tell you, I'm going to pray for you because I'm really concerned.
Yeah.
And then you just walk away from the subject, and you can stay in her life, but she's not, that translation, my grandmother used to say, those convinced against their will are of the same opinion still.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would definitely.
On this show, people call in, and after the third time that they want to argue with the same advice that I've given for 30 years,
You hang up on them.
I'll put them on hold and move on, because I talk to somebody that actually wants the advice, because otherwise I'm just arguing with a wall.
Yeah.
What was it my dad used to, you'd argue with the fence post. Y'all ever heard that one? Argue with the fence post.
But you know what,
That's a
Dave?
country thing
I
right
want to
there.
encourage her to listen to John Deloney Show. He did a video on how to have the hard conversation with the loved one.
Lots of questions.
Yes.
Lots of questions.
Yeah.
This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Folks, it's an honor to tell you about the Army National Guard. Not only are they big supporters of our high school curriculum, but they also give you the opportunity to impact your local communities. Whether your goals are to get an education, serve your country, or have a better life, the Army National Guard can help you get there. Plus, they offer unbelievable financial benefits. Secure your future today. Visit nationalguard.com/Ramsey to find out more. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions with a question is Scott from Los Angeles. Hey, Scott, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks, guys.
Good. How can we help?
I just, my wife and I been listening for a long time. Just paid everything off except for the house.
Way to go.
Thank you. And we've decided we'd like to leave California. We're kind of tired of it.
Amen.
Okay.
Yep. So we're heading out here to.
You're the only one.
Yeah, I wish that was true. Maybe 2 years ago would have been better. But we're here on our way, and we're kind of surprised in a way because a couple years ago, home values were a little bit lower, and we've realized that things are more expensive, and now it seems like it's going to be more of a lateral move as far as the mortgage is concerned. We will save money, but not as much as I thought, and so that's of concern. I thought it would be we'd have more money left over, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
What part of California are you in?
We're down in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Nice.
And what part of L.A.?
Marina Del Rey.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're comparing that to Williamson County here.
Exactly.
Okay, in
Yeah.
Tennessee, outside of Nashville.
Yep.
Okay. Well, home prices have gone up here, but they've not gone up. They've not doubled or anything like that. And they're still considerably lower than Marina Del Rey per square foot and so forth. Now, you are.
It's more square feet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can get a bigger house for sure. Yeah. But yeah, it's easier. So the homes that you're liking over here are going to use up the money from over there. Okay. And well, it's not a move down in that regard then, because you're going to move up in lifestyle.
Better schools. We don't have to worry about the homeless out with our children.
But I mean, and you're talking about more square feet.
Huge.
too.
1,400 versus 4,700.
Yeah.
It's shocking.
Yeah. Okay. So that's yeah.
How much of a home are you looking to buy?
The homes here that I'm looking at are anywhere between $1 million and I'd say 1 to 1.5.
Yeah. That's the average.
I thought it'd be 770, but that was a couple of years ago.
That's the average around here.
Yeah.
Well, the difference is that the prices didn't go up so much as the square footages went up in the area.
Right.
The size of the McMansion in Williamson County is larger because Williamson County is the 11th wealthiest county in the nation right now. It has attracted so much wealth into this area. It started with healthcare and country music people, and then it's gone from there. And I moved in and brought the neighborhood down, but but yeah, that's so yeah, it's just you're going to get 4,700 instead of 1,400. You're going to get a different environment that you're going to live in. We'll just call it that to be nice, and so.
I penciled the numbers out, and it's going to save me a couple grand a year, and that's not including state income tax.
Not
things,
including taxes.
Not
yeah.
including everything else. Just move over the mortgage is about the same.
Yeah.
I'd love to pay the mortgage off someday, but it's going to take some time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as you're doing it on a 15-year fixed or less, and you're still young, you got plenty of time to knock that thing out. You still got a game plan to knock it out. Put it on a 15, plan to knock it out in 7 to 10, which is what I would tell anybody anywhere. Then that doesn't really change in this situation. But more than anything, you're just this trip over. You got a little sticker shock this time.
Yeah, I expected just to kind of take a look at the area, understand where everything was, and then there happened to be a house that kind of fell out of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that it's hard to find these places.
You probably can do what you're talking about doing. It won't be down all the way to from $1.5 million down to 700, but you probably could take a step back like where you were in the other trip, but you're going to go out one more county.
Right.
Into a much more rural setting, and you're going to get a different vibe in that county. You're going to be in rural Tennessee rather than in suburbia Tennessee if you do that. But, that's, again, there's lots of wonderful counties around here. This isn't the only one, but this is just the most expensive one where you're standing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I wouldn't say you're making a bad financial move.
Okay.
You're not being irresponsible or something by doing this, but it sounds like you're just experiencing a little bit more of the just sticker shock.
And seeing the houses are just so massive, it does kind of shock you for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm in a 30-year fixed loan over there, so switching over to a 15, if I tried it, that would change things.
Yeah.
I'd probably be stuck with another 30, I would think, unless I can pull it off.
You probably could buy less than 4,700 if you look around too.
Yeah,
that's possible. I mean, there's other things in the market in the 3,000 range and that kind of thing. Footage wise, you still double your square footage.
Sure,
but and again, it may just be one of the things that I do when I'm looking at property in an area that I don't know. Is I just enjoy the whole process of gathering every stinking piece of information. In other words, I want to know every neighborhood.
Yeah.
I want to know this one over here. And Anthony's had, he had a lot tied up out in an area that's just out south of here. He was going to build a house, and they decided not to. And, and then he ended up in downtown Nashville and in a regentrified area and so forth. And so I just enjoy the gathering of information, and I think you might need to do a little bit more of that too. That might give you some more options. It may lead you right back to where you were, but you might be more comfortable with the option that you're looking at today after you've used the others to swing you back over to it. If that makes sense. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to go back though.
Yeah, I don't think I can go back. And I just finished paying off, me and my wife, $400K.
Ooh,
so we're
way to go.
Yeah, we're
well, welcome to Tennessee, brother.
Thanks, man.
Good to
Thank
have
you.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Open phones this hour. This is the Ramsey Show. Anthony O'Neill is my co-host today, Ramsey personality, answering your questions. Julie is with us in Washington, D.C. Hey, Julie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dave?
Good. How can we help?
I'm calling today with a question about using an inheritance that I received to either invest or pay off my mortgage. And I'm a longtime listener of the show, and I know that you always say that, if I'm already investing 15%, then I should go ahead and throw extra money on the mortgage.
Yep.
And I guess two parts of this is, I still have about $430,000 on the mortgage, but I think we're probably going to move in the next 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so thinking about it, the inheritance is $150,000, so I can't completely pay off the mortgage. And I'm concerned I would earn more, investing that for 2 years and getting a good return rather than, what the house might appreciate in the 2 years before we move. And so I was hoping you could better explain why you recommend the mortgage route in this situation.
The house is going to appreciate exactly the same amount whether it has debt on it or not.
Sure.
So you putting the 150 on it doesn't cause more appreciation. The only savings you would have would be the interest rate on that amount of debt, whatever your mortgage interest rate is. And as compared to what you might make on a mutual fund, that might be small, to your point, to your concern. I would put it on the mortgage anyway. And the reason is that I am going to have a paid-off mortgage, whether it's selling this property and moving the equity to another property, but I'm going to have a paid-off home as a part of your financial plan as soon as I possibly can, because all of the data with all the millionaires that we work with, from the millionaire study that Hogan did, says that there's two primary things that cause people to have their first $1 million net worth, and first $1 to $5 million net worth, and that is their 401k retirement savings.
Yes. And
you're not going to put it in that because it's payroll deduct, and a paid off home mortgage. We did not find a single millionaire out of 10,000 of them that we studied that said, I became wealthy because I never paid off my home and I used all of that money to invest.
Right.
All of them either had their homes paid off or were heading towards having their homes paid off. They never once said, I would never pay off my home because I always want to invest.
And one key thing she said there too, Dave, was she thinks. So still put it on the mortgage because things may change too.
If you do stay, you can pay off the mortgage. If you don't stay, they're going to give you that money at the closing when you sell the house.
Exactly.
It's going to come in the form of equity and come back to you. So you don't lose the money. What you are going to lose potentially in the short term is what you would have made in a mutual fund versus your mortgage interest rate, which might be $15,000 a year, might be $2,000 a year, something like that. But I'm going with the data, and the data says paid off home, one step to being millionaire. And I'm always going to move that direction. And so that keeps me right on those baby steps.
Yes.
You can certainly do what you want to do. That's what I would do. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Aaron and Whitney are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
How are you?
Welcome. Where do you guys live?
Franklin Furnace, Ohio.
Oh, fun. Well, welcome to Nashville. What brings you all the way here? A debt-free scream, I assume.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. How much have you guys paid off?
We paid off $30,000 in 6 months.
All right. Way to go. And your range of income during that time?
Started out about 54 and ended up about 80.
Okay, cool. Okay. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm a service technician for a telephone internet provider.
Mm-hmm.
A stay-at-home mom.
Oh, very cool. Good
She's
for you
got
guys.
the hard jobs.
Yeah, for real. So you kicked in some overtime or picked up some extra jobs, huh?
Yeah, a lot of overtime, probably about 1,000 hours overtime.
You've been kicking it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Way to go, dude. Set your family free, huh?
Oh, yeah.
$30,000 in six freaking months. Tell us about this. What got you so fired up?
Well, we've been just fighting it forever and ever, man. It's just like no matter what we did, nothing worked. She actually went to financial peace probably about 6 months before we got real heavy into it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have anything to do with it. So. And then I was working out of town, and then it became my idea. So.
Ah. Okay. So
how come you wasn't first? How come you weren't into it at first?
I wasn't like she was going to church at the time, and I was just led way far astray.
Gotcha.
She brought me back, and here we are.
Okay.
All right.
So tell us the story, Whitney. What happened from your perspective?
They just had a class at church, and our pastor led it. And then I just kept pushing, you need to listen to Dave Ramsey. You need to listen. And he was hesitant, but then finally, when it was his idea, he was on board.
Okay. All right. So you just started listening to the podcast while you were out of town, or what?
Yeah, we picked up a lot of overtime. So I was driving to Lexington, Kentucky. It's probably about 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't do nothing while you're driving. I just ended up finding you, and then I started downloading the podcast, and I mean, it just ate it all up, man.
Boom, just like that. So you guys decided we're going to do the Financial Peace University, the Dave Ramsey stuff, wide open. We're going to get on a budget. We're going to get out of debt. What happened?
We put Disney World on a credit card, and that's really what set it off.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So.
How did that
the
set it
famous
off?
last trip, huh?
Yeah, I had this harebrained idea that if you get these credit cards and we'll just put all our bills on this and we'll get the 50 points or whatever, and it doesn't work, so don't do that.
So Whitney, he comes home and says, "Now it's my idea," and you went finally.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So what was the hardest part of getting out of debt? All the extra hours, I guess, but.
Yeah. Getting on the same page, I would say. And for me, I'm the free spender. Didn't want to give up anything. But then once we got a budget, we didn't really give up as much as I thought.
How'd y'all do a budget with Aaron working so many hours?
My oldest brother, he is a super nerd. So he loves spreadsheets and stuff, and I just asked him one day to help us with us, and we downloaded it on our phones, Google Sheets, and we punched everything in, and it, once a week or once every 2 weeks, we'd have a budget meeting. And at first it was hard, but now it's like the most exciting day of the week for me.
Oh man, that's so cool. What would you say is the secret that you want to tell everyone, to young people listening to you right now? What should they be doing right now? Oh, here's one thing. Why should they get out of debt?
Because even right now, I feel like we're kind of ahead of the game, but we're really not. I mean, I'm 33, she's 31, and I just think back all the dumb stuff we did, decades ago, on how much money we would have right now, and it's just it's fun being weird. I'll just say that.
Yeah. How's it feel to be completely done?
Oh, it's
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's free, awesome. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we started, back was it January last year? So we was out of debt in July, and here we are February this year, and we're on step 5. So
wow.
I mean, we cash flowed. Woo! We cash flowed a down payment for our new old house. It's awesome.
Wow. Way to go, you guys. Congratulations. Feels good, huh? What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
For me, it's just patience. One of the verses that really helped me is Romans 5:3. It says, "We glory in tribulations because tribulations bring forth patience, which brings forth experience, character, and hope."
Yep.
So, I mean, if you just stay that course, you can get through anything.
So wait. You see what just happened, Dave?
I did. He just quoted scripture.
He just quoted scripture.
I heard that.
And 6 months ago, he wasn't in the church.
I heard that.
This is what I'm talking about.
There you go.
I'm more excited about this and you paying off your debt. I ain't gonna lie.
That's good, man. And that's one of my favorite scriptures. I love Romans 5:3.
Okay, then.
Rejoice in your suffering. I don't think so. Well, suffering produces perseverance, and perseverance, character, and character, hope, and hope is a gift of the Holy Spirit. Yeah, well done, guy. That's awesome, man.
Thank you.
Very cool. I love it. Good for you guys. So fun. And the kiddos, what are their names and ages? Bring them into the shot.
Braden is 14 and Amelia is 4.
So have they been tracking with you on this, or you've been dragging them?
Yeah,
or what?
we dragged Braden. We actually read through the Smart Money, Smart Kids.
Oh, wow.
So, and it must be sinking in because his iPad that he had for 7-8 years crapped out, and he bought his own new iPad.
Whoa! So. Way to go, man.
Yes.
Well done. Well
I told him if he gets any scholarship too, we have a 5% cash back. So. He's been hitting that pretty hard too.
Nice. Very nice. Well, you guys, you've changed your family tree.
Yep.
You not only changed the way you had a little bit of debt you cleaned up, but on top of that, you changed your life, your marriage, your parenting, everything. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Well done, guys.
Thanks.
Very, very well done. Excellent job. Good stuff. All right, Aaron and Whitney, Braden and Amelia.
Yes.
Lexington, KY area. $30,000 paid off in 6 months, making 54 to 80. Lots of hard work and OT. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free.
Yeah! That's how it's done right there, man.
That is fun.
Oh, you know, these stories almost always contain the part where, for a married couple anyway, where the other one had to get on board.
Yep.
And when that happens, it's like, ding, ding, here we go.
And it clicked.
Game on.
And it clicked.
Game on. Here we go.
Sounds like it even helped their marriage, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Sam is with us in Hawaii. Hi, Sam. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Ramsey. Good to talk to you.
You too. I'm short on time. Give me your question right quick.
Okay, so we just got a newborn baby, and the girlfriend is at home with the kids, so we got a single income. I'm a full-time Uber driver, and I've accumulated some traffic tickets that I think might be affecting my background check. And I'm thinking if the background check doesn't go through, I'll be out of a job. In the meantime, I also just found out I have $8,000 in taxes I have to owe this coming year in April. So
what are you making driving Uber?
What would be about $4,000 a month.
And what is the tax? What are the traffic tickets cost?
The traffic tickets are about $1,200.
We'll take them out first.
Yep.
And then you got to get on this. You got to get on this taxes, and you got to get on it hard. You're probably you're going to need to file your income tax return on time, even if you don't pay. Mm-hmm. And then you contact the IRS about what's called an installment plan and put that on payments until you can clear it. And, dude, you want to clear it as fast as possible because the penalties and the interest are ridiculous dealing with the IRS. Plus, they have almost unlimited power. So you're probably not going to quite clear it all by April 15th. But you get the tickets cleared first and then get after the IRS fast. But by midsummer, it all needs to be gone. And, you got to start setting back your quarterly estimates so you don't owe taxes next year. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. If you're wondering if you should be buying or selling a home or if you should put it on hold, well, this is a big financial decision, and big financial decisions should happen on your timeline. Well, Dave, I'm panicking because of the pandemic. Dave, I'm panicking because of interest rates. And Dave, listen, every time you're panicking, if you start your sentence with I'm panicking or I'm afraid, everything after the sentence is something you shouldn't do. Don't do stuff because you're afraid. That's never, unless it's get out of the way of a car or dodge a snake. Mm-hmm. But other than that, you don't need to make decisions when you're afraid. They're always bad decisions. Fear does not induce clarity. Quite the opposite. So don't wait around for the stars to align to buy a home or sell a home. Truth is, you can win in any market, in any season, if you put the right people on your team. If you want to find a top real estate agent in your area, like one of our endorsed local providers, our ELPs, they use years of experience and success in changing markets to serve you. They know what things look like. They know what's happening out there. And that's the only agent in your area I trust. If you want to make a move that's right for your family, text HOUSE to 33789. 33789. Text the word HOUSE, and you'll get somebody in your corner to help you, and you'll make much better decisions. Not time to make decisions when you're scared, right?
Right. Absolutely, Dave.
Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Claire is in Idaho Falls, Idaho. Hi, Claire. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hi. Me and my husband, we're graduating college. We've made it out debt-free.
Yay!
Yeah. So he's doing software engineering, so we're going to move just wherever he gets a job because he's going to make more than I do. I've been putting him through school, just working at the courthouse. And there I have about $2,000 that I've put away in a retirement fund. Through my work. I'm not going to continue working there. So I'm wondering if I should, pull the $2,000 from my retirement and then what I should do with it.
No, you should never pull from your retirement. I don't care if it's only $1,000. What I want you to do is transfer that over, Claire, to a traditional IRA. Get on the phone with a SmartVestor Pro. Or you can possibly do that yourself with $2,000. But I'll suggest a SmartVestor Pro and just let it sit there and start investing into the IRA moving forward until you both land a job, and then go back into your matches, then your Roth, then your traditionals. Those are the three main things I teach, and we actually teach when it comes to investing. But do not pull it out. Don't spend it. Go ahead and transfer it into your retirement account.
Yeah, direct transfer rollover into an IRA is what he's talking about with a SmartVestor Pro, and they can help you pick a mutual fund to do that. It's not the end of the world if you cash out a $2,000 account. It's just kind of silly to give the government half your money.
Right.
And that's what you're going to do, so I wouldn't do it. We don't cash out retirement accounts unless it's to avoid bankruptcy or foreclosure. You're certainly, not going to have either one of those in this situation. Tracy's in Lexington, Kentucky. Hi, Tracy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show. How can we help?
Hi, Dave. I have a quick question. I think it's pretty cut and dried. To whether or not to I'm 53 years old. My husband's a retired school teacher. I started late. I stayed home with the kids. So I'm still 7 to 9 years before I'm eligible for a full teacher pension. My question is, we have 14 years left on our home mortgage at a rate of our interest rate is 2.75. Do we continue to hit outside of our pension? We'll both have a pension. We have 401k and Roth. Which should I be hitting the hardest? With the market returns, it looks like the 401k returns much better than 2.75, which is on our home mortgage.
Are you debt-free except your home?
No, we have $17,000 on one vehicle. And
before we even have this discussion, that has to go.
Okay.
So your number one thing is clearing that up. Mm-hmm. Do you have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses?
Yes.
How much?
Right at $20,000.
Oh, good. Pay your car off today.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's always.
Then your next number one. Wait. Okay. Then your number one goal, and I want you to do a written, detailed budget with your husband. Okay. Your number one goal is to build your emergency fund back up.
Yeah. What's y'all's annual income?
Okay. Right at 100.
Good. So you're going to do this very quickly.
Very
It's going to be very quickly. If you're not willing to pay the car off today, you should sell it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you already own the car. The only question is, are you going to own the debt? So we're going to clear the debt. Now you don't have a car payment anymore. We're going to build your emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. That's going to take you about 4 months is all. And then we're going to start baby step 4, which is 15% of your income going into retirement, and everything else we can find we're going to throw at that house.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think I'm at 8% into my retirement already. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
That's already.
You need to, you may want to stop that temporarily till you get that emergency fund rebuilt, and then start it again at 15%. And that's household income. Does your husband work?
He is currently starting a second business. He's a retired teacher, and he's currently starting, but that's not income, anything, expense nor income at the moment.
Okay, if it starts creating an income, 15% of your household income goes into retirement. That's what we call baby step 4. That's when you're debt-free with an emergency fund. That's the first 3 steps. Then 4 is 15% of your income going into retirement. Everything above 15%. And by the way, without this big stinking car payment and by living on a budget, you're going to have money above the 15% to go ahead and clear that mortgage off. Because in 7 years, I want this house gone, our house debt gone. Yeah. And when you move into retirement, you're going to have a healthy 401k, a healthy pension. He's going to have a business going, and you're going to have a paid-for house. That's where you want to be at retirement.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, that's my goal. I have a money fear. I'm one of those people whose parents didn't do. They did everything I shouldn't do, so I have almost an irrational fear of not having money when I'm older.
Well, the step that we gave you gives you both wealth and stability.
Yes.
Wealth is in the 401k, stability is in the paid-for house.
Right.
And the
So
process
15%.
I just gave you is the shortest distance between where you are and there.
Okay, 15% into retirement after the truck's paid. Pay off the truck for sale.
After the emergency fund's in place.
After the emergency fund's back in place. Okay.
Yeah. Then 15% into retirement, and everything else we can squeeze out of the budget, we chunk on the house. How much do you owe on your home?
$184.
Yeah, it's probably going to be 7 to 9 years before you're done.
Yeah.
You may not have it done in 7 years, but you're going to be close. Depending on if your husband starts adding some income to the equation or not.
Yeah.
If he starts adding income to the equation, you start throwing it at that.
And don't allow your fear, Tracy, to prevent you from getting to your purpose, as far as not your purpose, but your future. Pay off the car today, all right? Mm-hmm. Pay it off today, and you're going to get closer and closer and closer to your dream. I think you can do it within 7 to 8 years, but the numbers do show 7 to 9. But I think if you and your husband really sit down and get on a clear budget, I think you can be there within 7 years.
Well, $25,000 is 8 years. Out of 100. So you can do it faster than that, probably. You probably can do it in...
Because their income should go up with the business.
Yeah, I do. I think you're going to be done in 7 years.
Yeah.
If you stay concentrating on it.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to live on beans and rice to do it, but I think you're just going to pay attention.
Yeah.
Just be very intentional with your money. Hang on, I'm going to send you a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover, which outlines those baby steps that we were using in detail. It's like the baby steps on steroids. That's what the book is, and it's the best-selling book we've ever done because of that, because it gives everybody a clear path of exactly what to do here, what to do there, what to do there, and what to do there. That's simple. Yeah. And so, very, very cool. Good stuff. We appreciate you calling in. All right, Anthony, that about puts another hour down. Well done.
Another hour. It's been fun, Dave. I like rocking with you,
done.
man.
James Childs is our producer. Kelly Daniel is our associate producer. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is The Ramsey Show. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Dion is in Bakersfield, California, starting this hour off. Hi, Dion. How are you?
How you doing, Dave? Finally got the chance to talk to you, and I'm sorry. I'm trying to... This is my first time talking. I don't know how to do all this, but I'm trying. I've been trying to reach out to your company for years now. This is my first time.
Well, I'm glad you got through. How can we help you today?
I just purchased my first home, and 2 years ago, I'm trying to figure out a way, as a blind person, how to pay off my mortgage faster than 30 years.
Okay, Dion.
Did you say a blind person?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Did you say a blind person?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do you do for a living?
I receive Social Security.
Okay. All right. And how expensive a home did you buy in Bakersfield, California?
It's actually right next door in Lancaster, but it's we paid $240,000.
You said we. Are you married, Dion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What does she do for a living?
She's a caregiver. She takes care of the elderly.
Okay. So what's y'all's household income then?
I receive Social Security $900 a month. She receives about $2,600 a month.
Okay.
And we also have a side gig. After we moved into our house, she was taking care of one of the people she was taking care of, and their spouse passed away, and we took them in, and we've been doing it. So we take care of elderly in our home as well.
And what does that pay?
We receive we have two patients right now. We receive about $2,200 straight across money.
Okay. So that's about $5,500 a month.
Yeah, that makes us a little bit. I didn't think you were paying a mortgage on a $200,000 house for $3,600. So this is helpful. Good. Okay. Good. So you did that because you had this mortgage and you had to do something, right?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Well, no. Well, actually, my dad was living with us before he passed away, too. So that was another reason why we were able to get the house. And my wife was they had more patients at the time before the coronavirus.
Gotcha. So what's your question for today, then?
I'm trying to find out how to pay off my home faster. I've been hearing stuff how I can pay it off faster than 30 years. I've been following you since I was 16. I'm 52 now.
So before we go there, Dion, do you have any other consumer debt excluding your mortgage?
No, we don't have any credit card debt. We pay our credit cards in full every month. We own both our cars, so no, we don't have any debt at all.
So you do have debt. You just pay it off every month.
Oh, well, I follow stupid people and tell me about credit cards.
Because he said he has credit cards and he pays it off every month.
Oh, okay. But you don't have a balance on them. So yeah. So you're going to get debit cards to replace those. But then, as far as paying off the house early, we're going to put you on a budget. Make sure you have your emergency fund in place and start saving 15% of your income towards retirement. Past that, every dollar you can find up to baby step 6 is going to go towards the house. Unless I missed something, that's where he is.
Yeah, no, you didn't miss nothing at all, Dave. I mean, I definitely want to say get rid of the credit cards, though. I mean, because that's going to put you back into debt eventually. I'm just going to say that. So
first time there's a hiccup, you're going to end up, and you're going to look over on those things. There's going to be a balance. He's right about that. But I think the big thing here is you guys have done a great job of being scrappy. Mm-hmm. You're hustling, you're grinding, you're adding people into your home that you're taking care of. She's working. You guys are doing everything you can do to make sure that you make the payments on this house, and you've always figured out a way, and so that's good news.
Right.
And I would just use that scrappiness and not use it as a way to save your bacon every time, but instead be a way that you're actually prospering, and that comes from working the baby steps and doing that with a budget. And, baby step 1's debt-free, except the home. You've done that. 2 is an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months, or 2 is debt snowball. 3 is emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. And you move straight up through that process.
Yeah.
James is with us in Seattle. Hi, James. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Anthony, thank you guys for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So my wife and I are considering quitting our jobs and going back to school. She wants to do a career change, and I kind of want to accelerate my master's program. It's a 4-year program. It's a part-time program, and I kind of want to get it done in 2 years. So we were considering quitting our jobs. We make combined $220. And the only debt that we have left is our house, which we owe about $130 on.
So you want to get your master's in what?
My master's, it's my MBA. It's an executive MBA.
Yeah.
I'm a corporate controller, a financial controller right now, and I would like.
And you
to
make what now?
I make $130, and she makes $90.
And you'd like to be a CFO?
Yeah, I'd like to be a CFO. My goal is by 35.
And you think you have to have an MBA to be a CFO?
I've been looking a lot, and they usually require like a CPA, which I have, and an MBA.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would help with, I don't have a ton of years of experience.
My CFO, this is a $300 million company. My CFO does not have an MBA.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Just as a heads up.
Wow, that's
just a heads up.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
okay if you go
really
get it, but quitting your job to go get it is a bit extreme.
Yeah, jobs, not just jobs, because both of y'all want to quit.
What's her degree field? What's she wanting to go do?
She wanted to do. She wanted to be a lawyer, and then she decided that she didn't want to do that. She's got her 4-year degree, and she's a paralegal. She actually wants to switch to healthcare management.
Okay, and she has a 4-year degree in what?
Pre-law.
Okay, and what does she do now?
She's a paralegal.
Oh, now she's a paralegal. Okay, and she wants to move into the healthcare field, and so she wants to get a master's in that.
Healthcare management.
She wants to get a master's in that.
Yeah, she either wants to. She wants to get like a 4-year degree in her healthcare management.
How old are you guys?
Or her master's in healthcare. I'm 31. She's 29.
Okay. Well, we share a view of education that, with a few rare exceptions, the primary use of education is to increase income.
Yeah.
And to move into a career field that you love, okay? And so it is not something that you just collect like degrees on a thermometer. It is not something that you have to have. It is what is necessary for you to go win. And in your case, I would do the MBA as an executive level and keep your position. Would definitely not quit. In her case, I would probably do the same thing. I'd probably pick up some night classes and begin to move towards healthcare as a career move rather than just quit your jobs. You're making a great income. I think you can make a more gentle transition than this, and I think you should.
Yeah.
Healthcare has gotten to be ridiculous. It puts people, on the brink. And so it would have put us on the brink had we not had CHM. CHM saved our life, saved our financial lives.
Christian Healthcare Ministries, or CHM, is not health insurance, but it is a budget-friendly option and the original health cost-sharing ministry for Christians. Get started today and check us out at chministries.org/budget.
O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. If you're trying to find the perfect Valentine's gift, consider this your suggestion. In order to make real progress with your money, you got to be on the same page as your spouse. And to make progress with your marriage, you got to be on the same page with your spouse. And you need to work together, being on the same page with your spouse to create a budget. To help you get on the same page, we've gathered up our best-selling books, our budgeting tools, and we bundles for couples all in one big sale for Valentine's. You can save up to 83%. Check it out at DaveRamsey.com. And you do not want to miss this coming Friday, the Big Money and Marriage live stream, February the 12th. Join Rachel Cruz, best-selling author and emotional wellness expert, Dr. John Deloney, also best-selling author, as they walk you and your spouse through a fun date night that will help you have better conversations, deeper connections, and faster progress with your money. Visit us at DaveRamsey.com/store, and you can get your live stream tickets and your Valentine's Day gifts that will help you build a bright future with your spouse. Sale ends February 14th. Again, the Money and Marriage live stream is this coming Friday, February the 12th. For those of you that are already Ramsey Plus members, it is free to you. So you don't want to miss out on that. Check it all out. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. This is The Ramsey Show. Anthony O'Neill, my co-host, joins me today. Ramsey personality Matthew is with us in Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, Matthew. How are you?
Hey, guys. How are you doing? Thanks for taking my phone call.
Sure. How can I help?
Quick question. I just got done reading The Total Money Makeover. I'm in the middle of a debt-free degree right now. Both great books. Really love them.
Thank you.
My wife and I are in the process of planning out our budget and looking through our debt and seeing what we owe. We've already got enough money in the bank for baby step 1, so I guess we'd currently be on baby step 2.
Good.
So in the Total Money Makeover, I believe you said to divest from your retirement investments temporarily.
No, just stop adding. Don't take the money out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
To stop adding. So, like between my wife and I, that's probably almost $500 a month. Which, but my question is in regards to my son's 529. So I've got a 15-year-old son who's actually the youngest of 3. I've got 2 that are in college right now. One pays for it herself, and the other one we're helping with. The oldest one's got kids, and she's single, so she's basically getting college for free through grants and scholarships. I actively contribute like $100 a month towards his 529, and he's already in high school, and there's not terribly much money in there, about $5,500 in there.
Yeah.
But my question is, do we also do the same with that? Stop actively contributing in that.
What's your household income?
Gross is about $150.
Okay, $100 a month.
Take home.
$100 a month is $1,200 a year.
Correct.
For 3 years before he goes to college, is $3,600.
Yeah.
Right.
This does not solve your college problem.
Doesn't.
Right.
So that's the answer.
What I was actually thinking of doing was leaving it in, and I know bad idea with student loans, but what we were looking at doing was leaving it in and letting it grow for the other 4 years, and then taking what we have after the additional 4 years, after the 7 total years, and putting that down off of whatever we can afford.
Yeah. Instead, what I would tell you to do is let's work the baby steps. Mm-hmm. And if you're reading debt-free degree, you know you don't have to have all the money saved for him to go to college. He just has to choose properly.
Yeah.
So we're going to work the baby steps. You're going to be. How much debt do you have, not counting your home?
Numbers-wise, I haven't finished adding it up. It's over 100. My wife and I both have student loans, and then we co-signed for not co-signed, but we have parent loans for my other son.
Okay.
Actually, my student loans are actually going to be paid off in May of this year because I'm a government worker. So I'll have made my 120 on-time payments.
Matthew,
and I did talk to,
Matthew, here's the first thing. The first thing, you need to know exactly what are you up against. You need to know your numbers, okay? before you can really fix this situation, you need to know exactly to the T how much debt that you're in. So this means you need to get on the budget. Okay, so that's the very first thing I would tell you.
We've got leases on cars, which we're working on trying to get out of.
Good.
So that's part of it.
Good.
We lease our cell phones, which we're gonna throw into the snowball and get rid of very soon.
Good.
The only other mortgage the only other debt we have after that is our student loans.
Yeah. Cars and student loans.
My wife has,
okay. Yeah.
Cars,
So you got to clear. You got to clear. The point being, making what you make. I think it sounds like you are going to be debt free, except your home, by the time your 15-year-old gets to school. You'll have your emergency fund in place, and I would love for you to put 15% of your income away, beginning with baby step 4, towards retirement, and then cash flow his college beyond that. If you put retirement on hold for a couple of years to cash flow his college, oh, by the way, he's going to do all the other things in debt-free degree in order to go to college. Yeah. But you should map out a thing to where you are debt-free before he gets to school, baby step 2, and have your emergency fund in place. And then with a $150,000 income and using the debt-free degree plan, you ought to be able to cash flow his college, no student loans, and I would have stopped your retirement during that time until you get there, and I would have stopped his 529 until you get there, and you're probably never going to restart it because by the time you get there, you're probably going to be writing checks for college.
Yeah, and Matthew, have a conversation with your son now. Let him know, like, hey, your college experience is going to be based upon your grades, your scholarships, based upon you. So if you really want to go to this particular school inside of Ohio, you're going to have to step up to the plate. Now's a great time to have that conversation with them. And make sure that he's reading the book with you, because we walk you through the step-by-step process. What are the classes? How does he prep for the ACT and the SAT? Make sure that he's playing a huge part of that, and you're not just carrying all the weight, okay?
Yeah. Because if he gets good scores on those and takes the classes and takes them again and super scores them, that's going to qualify him for yet more scholarships. Yes. He's going to be working while he's in school, and he's going to choose a school. The two of you together are going to choose a school that you can afford.
In Ohio.
Yeah, it's going to be an in-state school.
Yes.
He's not going to a $100,000 a year school. No, you don't have that money. He's also not driving a Bentley.
No.
And there's no shame in either one of those. And he might even go to community college for the first year or two to get some of his basics out of the way before he transfers to a 4-year.
Yeah.
So any of those plans and all of those plans get this kid through school debt-free, and you're going to be able to help a lot just out of your monthly budget.
Yes.
Because you're not going to have any payments except your house payment by the time you get there. But you're going to have to take the radical steps to do that. I sure hope that your theory on the student loan forgiveness works out. It has not worked out for hardly anyone. Virtually no one has gotten that approved. And so there's, I saw the stat the other day. I think it's up to 30,000 people have now gotten their forgiveness, but it's 400,000 have applied and didn't.
Yep.
And so, and of course, current political arguments are there's going to be some forgiveness in addition to that. We'll see. But, you've got to lay out a game plan to where you clear this debt, these car leases, these student loans, these parent loans, 100%. Get your emergency fund in place. Only then do you restart your 401k, and you lay out a detailed game plan to cash flow college using the debt-free degree book and process to do that.
Yes, sir.
And I think it's all possible.
Absolutely.
But basically, 7 years from today, 3 years more of high school, 4 more years of that, you're going to have the last one off the payroll.
Yeah.
And that's what we called it when our kids left. They got them off the payroll. Now they're on this payroll.
I like that picture, though.
Yeah, that's it. They're off the payroll. You can do it. It's just going to have to be very detailed and very intentional, and no wavering and no waffling. Like those cars don't need to be still sitting in the driveway, the freaking payment on them. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Matt and Sarah are with us in Minneapolis. It says on my screen you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. How much have you paid off?
$141,000.
Cool. How long did this take?
It took me 17 months.
Okay. And your range of income during that time?
We started at about $235,000 and we ended at $280,000.
Wow. What do you do for a living?
I am in software sales.
I'm in physical therapy.
Okay. Wow. Cool. So I'm guessing some of this 141 must have been student loan debts.
Well, you guessed right.
Well,
a good amount of it.
How much was it?
So the student debt was about $130,000, and then the remainder is about $7,000 for auto, and then the rest was just some credit cards.
I'm having trouble hearing you. You're going to have to get where you could talk directly into your phone. Okay,
Oh,
100
sorry.
and
It was,
how much was the student loan debt again?
Loans. $130 for the student loans.
Okay. Good.
And then we
Oh
were
my
saying
gosh.
about
So 11 wasn't. All right.
About $4,000 for credit card.
Okay, so tell us the story. What happened 17 months ago that got you guys started on all this?
I mean, we really just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I mean, we have two little kids, and we really just wanted to, be able to, have the future for them that, we wanted for our family. And it was just getting kind of ridiculous because we, had an awesome income, but we felt like we were broke. And we, kind of finally just came across some of your books. And actually we started listening to your podcast, and we really started getting gazelle intense after we listened to our first debt-free scream. That really kind of hit home with us and really inspired us and got us motivated. And we just got gazelle intense since then.
Wow. Very cool. Good for you guys. So you did it. $141,000 in 17 months. That's like $8,000 a month.
Yeah.
You're chunking on this, man. I mean, this is big time. So what do you tell people the key, the thing they have to know if they're going to get out of debt? What are the keys?
The first key for us was 100% the every dollar budget. Well, I guess maybe take a step back, the why. So we really thought about why we wanted to do this, and that was so important because so many times during this we would fall off even for like a week, and then we would get back to why we were doing it, and that would get us back and motivated. And then we use that gazelle intensity when we did have that focus, and then the budget just to keep us on track because, yeah, we were definitely spending more than we were meant to be spending at that moment.
Yeah. So what's your big why?
Well, definitely just being able to be outrageously generous. I mean, it kind of started, like I said, hitting home when we just heard all the people on your show saying, like, we want to live like no one else so that later we can live and give like no one else. And, we want to be able to do that. And we felt like we were, we should be able to do that. But if we never get rid of this debt, that we're never going to be in a winning situation. And so that was really kind of our big why.
Yeah.
So what was the hardest thing throughout this journey, throughout these last 17 months?
The hardest thing. Oh, well, there were so many, bonus and commission checks that came in. And I remember just kind of crying like each time one came in because I knew that we didn't get to do anything with it. Like we couldn't buy a new car. We couldn't, kind of do all the things that we saw other people doing. Right. And we knew that it just had to go to our debt.
Yeah.
So I think that was definitely the hardest thing is just, stop comparing to other people and just kind of run your race.
Yeah, that's good.
But we stuck with it.
So good.
Very, very good. Very cool. Well done. So now that you're out, how's it feel?
Amazing.
I really still can't believe it. I mean, and again, we've heard this on your show so many times, but we've started making such different decisions because of, our ability now to not, have like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 going towards debt every month. So it's really, I would like to say, changed our family tree.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, so most of the student loan debt was from my education, and it felt like there was a constant chain just holding me back all the time with this. And it finally just felt like I was free and not having that burden on my shoulders at all times. And it's just been so relieving, and we feel like we can make decisions that we never would have even have thought about before. So, for example, we just decided this month that we're going to start our own business, and that was completely not even imaginable 3 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
This
Very
is
cool.
exciting.
I'm so proud of you guys. Very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we appreciate it. We took what you said to heart, and it made all the world of a difference.
Yeah, you guys are incredible. We've got a copy of Chris Hogan's book for you, Everyday Millionaires. There's no doubt that is the next chapter in your story. You have this fabulous income, and you have this ability to control money now instead of it or the lack of it controlling you. You guys have worked together. You're a team. You've done everything the right way. Very, very well done. Congratulations. It's not a perfect process, but it gets you there, and now you're free.
Yeah.
So very well done.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Matt and Sarah, Minneapolis, Minnesota, $141,000 paid off in 17 months, making $235 to $280. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
I love it. Well done, you two. Very, very well done. Tyler is in Kansas City. Hi, Tyler. How are you?
I'm well. How are you guys doing?
Better than we deserve. You got a little football hangover today?
So I am a King Tom fan, so I'm really excited about how yesterday went.
Oh,
man.
You're unpopular in your own neighborhood.
Yeah, man. We're going to go ahead and end this call right now.
How can we help you today, sir?
Well, yeah, thank you for taking my call. Yeah, I've been a big fan of your show for a while, Dave, and read The Total Money Makeover as a wedding gift for my wife and I. As of Monday last week, we were officially on baby step 4. I submitted my application or whatever on Fidelity to get my retirement funded.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Now that I'm on babies, what was that? I'm sorry.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It does, but now that I'm here, it's like, I kept pushing to get through baby step 3, and now that we're here, it's like, now what? And so that's why I thought I'd give you a quick call. So my question is twofold. I've been reading several books, one of which is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he talks a lot about asset generating income. But I know what you'll say to me right now, so I'm not even going to ask that question. The question I'm having is I'm wondering, I'm in a career where I work in a public accounting firm where I don't make quite as much as the market pays. So I'm in a position where I'd be able to leave where I'm at right now for a fairly significant pay bump.
Like what's that? What do you make now? What would you make if you left?
Yeah, great question. So right now I make $67, and I've had several friends leave within the last couple of years, and they're both over 100, probably close to 110.
Well, if you could get a quality firm with quality people, why would you not do that?
Yeah, so, and I don't know, this is the question that I'm still trying to reconcile, is the thing that we've been kind of hounded on through college.
All right, tell you what, you hold on. We come back from this break. We'll get the rest of your question. Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 13:11. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. Winston Churchill said, continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. We're talking with Tyler in Kansas City. He's in public accounting, has a job making $67,000, has the opportunity, baby step forward, just got there, has the opportunity to possibly take a position making almost double that somewhere else. And I said, well, if the people are high quality, and the firm is high quality, why would you not do that? And you were beginning to explain something to us as we headed into the commercial, Tyler. What was that?
Yeah, thanks for coming back. Yeah, so, and this is kind of goes back to what we being accounting majors have been taught throughout college is there's a certain threshold that you hit. It's almost, it's a 5-year benchmark that you hit in public accounting. And at that point, you've kind of earned your stripes and then you've increased your earnings potential. And so it's almost like a long-term game I'm trying to think long-term, that if you leave before this 5 years, you've limited your earnings. But to your point, I'm
sorry, I'm confused. If you stay making half of what you can make, you are earning your stripes how?
Yeah. This is the conundrum that I've been wondering is you get a title.
That sounds like something from the 1950s.
It's very archaic.
I know, but it's not. The truth is that the money to be made in your field is not in public accounting.
Long term, it would be, but that's 10, 15 years out.
Well, building a book of business.
Yeah, once you're a partner, then it's about your book of business, and it's much more lucrative. But as a first couple of years, it's certainly not.
I see. Okay, so you're on a model where you're trying to make partner, much like a law student, where they work your butt off, you get nothing for 5 years, and then hopefully you can get your foot in the door.
It's very similar.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. So that's what you mean by that. So if you went the other direction, why would you not be on the same track? You're working for a corporation doing accounting at that point. You're not up for partner. You're not going to stay in that world. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so what does a partner make at your place you work now?
Yeah, it's kind of a smoke and mirrors question, but I would say probably close to 800, depending on market and clients, but 800 and above.
Okay. And you're how far out from that?
14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be candid, that's not really where I want to live. I'm not real sure where I want to go, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to be a partner. So it's almost a question of, is it worth sticking around longer for potential higher earnings outside of public accounting because I stayed longer here, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think I'm moving on.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, Dave.
That's just my inclination. And because I think that the other thing that I see with folks, in your field is that there's a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities that open up over time that you use your finance and accounting expertise in that can even be in a startup situation where you would make even more than you might have made were you a partner in a medium-sized firm. So there's a lot of different ways your career could bend and twist and turn over the years. Number one, I think the key thing here of what you said is you don't really like the destination, so why go 14 years to get there?
Yeah.
That answers my question.
That's definitely something that I've been, in the Ken Coleman episodes in his show, that's one of the things that I often think about as well. So
it's the old thing of if you climb the ladder of success and it's leaning on the wrong building, oh crap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, we want to make sure the stinking ladder is leaning in the right place. Now, so what I've discovered is that the economy and the career path these days is a lot more dynamic and a lot more fluid than just one possible path for a given field of endeavor. Yeah. I would have never thought I would have been on the path I ended up on with a degree in finance and real estate. It was definitely not my intent to end up going broke and then coaching people on how not to do that. But it worked out okay for me. So it's a twist and a turn, and you pivot and you play the hand that's dealt you and so on. So it's, in other words, if you took the other position and you were there 5 years making twice and you were piling up cash during that time, that gives you the option to do other things. If you wanted to take a hard right or hard left turn, utilizing some of those skills and, again, go into an entrepreneurial startup of some kind or start your own public accounting firm, build your own book of business where you is the podna, baby.
Yes, sir.
And that kind of a thing. And you've got all kinds of options like that. And, with an extra $400,000 or $500,000 in the next 10 years, that would be... it just give you a lot of options. So I just don't think it's going to end up being a straight line to success, and you don't like where the ladder's leaning anyway. So
I'm not staying there.
I'm going to go ahead and start looking that other direction.
Yeah.
So maybe you need to live your dream, not your professor's dream.
Ooh.
So just my idea. But what do I know?
I like that, Dave.
Open phones this hour. Simon is with us. Simon's in Tallahassee, Florida. Hi, Simon. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi, Anthony. It's absolutely delightful to speak to both of you.
You too, sir. How can we help?
Well, I have a real estate question for you. I'm a young entrepreneur in Tallahassee. I have student rental business here, and I'm having real trouble finding reliable, affordable contractors, plumbers, etc., that actually show up to work and do the job properly. So I was wondering how you went about finding proper contractors.
That's a good question, because I had the same question for Dave, Simon.
Not surprised.
When my son, 15 years ago, was in high school, we were doing a little bit of renovation on our home, and the guy wasn't showing up, and we're coming home one day, and Daniel says, Dad, he's 15 years old. I'm going in the construction business. I said, why? And he goes, it's a really easy business. All you have to do is do what you say you were going to do and show up, and you have no competition. So,
yeah.
And it is. I mean, you can make, if you're a contractor, you can make a mint in that world by reasonably pricing and showing up on time and doing what you said you were going to do, keeping your word, and to the point that too many times people don't in that field. So, Nick, what we have done over the years is, number one, we have settled in, like for our rental properties and the properties that we manage and that we own, we have settled on the fact that in order to lower our aggravation level, we have increased what we spend to get a better person. So you're really not going to get a super cheap contractor and get good work on time without problems. It's just I have not had that as an experience. Because most of the guys that are in that world, they charge a little more because they know that they're the only ones that are going to do the right job on time the way they said. So, and I'll just pay a little more so I don't have the heartache of having to restart the project 4 times with 4 different people that screw it up every time. So I pay a little bit more, not a lot more. I don't pay double. I don't mean that, but I just changed my mindset on not necessarily always going with the lowest bid. And the second thing we do is that we are 100% of the time always looking for more contractors. If we have a guy that does painting for us, and we've got a really good one right now, he's an incredible guy. But we're always looking for another one because I don't know what day he's not going to, at what point he's going to blow up.
Yeah.
And so if I've got options as backup, I need some bench depth. And so just because I've got someone that does good roofing doesn't mean I'm going to only work with one roofer. I'm going to always have another one on the bench ready to go. And just because I've got someone that's good at building a deck, whatever the thing is that you're wanting done, I want another one in queue.
Yeah.
And pay a little more and get some bench depth. And that's about the only way to avoid the majority of the heartache. Good question. Thank you for joining us. Anthony, good job today.
Dave, America, thank you.
That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.